From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It has been a really nice Wednesday across mid-Michigan. Plenty of sunshine and some really mild temperatures in place. Satellite and radar shows not so much is going to change as we go throughout the rest of the evening and overnight tonight, with still mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions in place across the area. Temperature-wise, we're at 45 degrees here in Lansing and St. John's, 46 the current temperature in Jackson, Mason, and over in Charlotte as well. We will stay dry as we go throughout the overnight hours. Temperatures falling down into the low 30s as we start off the day tomorrow, then warmer temperatures and the chance for rain moves in. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock in our first 6 minutes of news, and we begin tonight in Detroit, where a man led police on a chase that ended up with a pickup truck crashing into a home, and it's something people in that neighborhood have experienced before. Police say they were following a man driving a truck that matched the description of one involving a burglary of a marijuana distribution center in Warren. This happened early Monday morning, the video just being released. When Warren police tried to stop the vehicle, they say the driver sped off. When the chase entered a Detroit neighborhood, the driver lost control and crashed into a house. Nobody was home at the time, and police arrested the driver. But a neighbor told CBS Detroit this is the 5th time someone has crashed into a house at that intersection. In Grand Rapids today, a judge sentenced 20-year-old Omarion Dixon to life in prison for the murder of another 20-year-old man and for injuring a teenager in 2023. A jury convicted Dixon in January. Julius Height was walking a dog with a 15-year-old boy when Dixon and 2 others shot at the pair. The teenager survived.
This was all captured on video, and GPS as well as phone information, once it was forensically examined, led right to you.
The other 2 suspects, Cartier Lawrence Murray and Jameer Blakely, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and attempted murder. They are now serving prison sentences of up to 60 years and up to 40 years. 1 child is dead and another seriously hurt tonight after a crash involving an Amish buggy and an SUV this morning in Van Buren County. Michigan State Police say an 8-year-old girl was riding in the buggy when the crash happened, killing her. Her 12-year-old brother was also in the buggy and was injured. State Police say the woman driving the SUV is suspected of being under the influence, and she was arrested. Also in West Michigan, police arrested a man from Chicago. They say he was driving the wrong way on US 131 early this morning. Police say a deputy heading north saw someone driving north in the southbound lanes near Kalamazoo. The deputy got ahead of the other car, signaled for the driver to stop, but officials say the person just kept going. Deputies were eventually able to stop the vehicle with tire spikes. They arrested the 35-year-old driver on charges of driving under the influence and possession of illegal drugs. Staying on the roads, police in Kentucky say thieves took 8 Corvettes from the lot of the factory where the cars are built as part of a scheme to transport them here to Michigan to sell. All 8 of the Corvettes were recovered in different places. Together, they're worth $1.8 million. Officials say one of those arrested told police that if he made it back to Michigan, he, quote, would have been paid big. Looking at international news, the wildfires in South Korea are continuing to burn across the country's southern regions. So far, 18 people have died in the fires and thousands are evacuating their homes. Officials say more than 200 structures have been destroyed, including a 7th century Buddhist temple. The wildfires started on Friday, and officials claim they are among the worst to ever happen in South Korea. In Brazil, the Supreme Court decided today that former President Jair Bolsonaro will stand trial on charges of attempting a coup. The panel of judges unanimously voted to accept the charges. Prosecutors accused Bolsonaro and 33 others of attempting a coup that included a plan to poison his successor, current President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, and kill a Supreme Court judge. A coup conviction carries a sentence of up to 12 years, but other charges will add years. Bolsonaro says he's innocent of the charges. Back here in the United States, our own Supreme Court today upheld a Biden administration rule that regulates buying and selling the weapons known as ghost guns. And those are guns that are purchased in separate parts and then later assembled. The court voted 7-2 to allow background checks, age verification requirements, and other regulations on the weapons to continue. In a dissent, Justice Clarence Thomas says the kits are only firearm parts and should not be subject to regulation. In one of the most comprehensive statewide bans of its kind, West Virginia has now outlawed foods and medications that contain 7 types of artificial dyes and 2 preservatives. The food dyes will not be permitted in school lunches in West Virginia beginning August 1st. And this all comes amid a nationwide push from scientists and some government leaders for more restrictions on food additives that potentially have harmful health effects, particularly for children.
There is some evidence, at least for some kids, that this can increase the risk, these dyes can increase the risk of hyperactivity, sleeplessness, inattention. So especially for those kids where that impact has been seen and taking those foods away relieves those symptoms, for those kids especially, it is a good idea.
In January, the FDA stepped in to ban the artificial food coloring Red No. 3. The dye is used in foods like candy, cakes, and frosting. Looking up now, a partial solar eclipse will happen on Saturday, but unfortunately it will not be visible from here in mid-Michigan. The lucky viewers will be in the northeast United States, parts of Europe, Western Africa, and Northern Asia. A solar eclipse happens when the moon moves in front of the sun, casting its shadow on the Earth. Staying in outer space, the James Webb Space Telescope is shedding new light on the planet Neptune. Images just released by NASA show aurora as the gas giant's atmosphere, which are highlighted against an older photo taken by the Hubble telescope. The shimmering lights happen there for the same reason we see the northern lights, particles from the sun interacting with the planet's magnetic fields. Pretty cool. And diving in to end the first 6 minutes of news, a new museum exhibit in London shows the history of how the worlds of fashion and swimming combine. A centerpiece is the swimsuit worn by Pamela Anderson in the TV show Baywatch. There are also medals and clothing from Olympic athletes, the earliest versions of the bikini, and some of the men's Speedos from the 1980s. The exhibit called Splash, A Century of Swimming and Style is on display through August 17th. I prefer more of a full coverage kind of suit myself.
I agree, but it's a pretty cool exhibit.
It is.
No doubt there.
Yeah, not quite swimsuit weather here, but hopefully soon, Kendall. I know it's only March, though.
It is only March, but we do have some warmer and above average temperatures moving in starting tomorrow.
Okay, I like the sound of that.